It is February 15th of 2022. It is about 68 degrees out here. I'm in Texas in zone 9A, 8B. I'm at the very, very tip top of 9A. Everything's looking brown and I've got some green. I've been thinking about my spring garden for a while and planning. I looked at the pecan trees today and they are budding. So that means no more freezing. And that means it's time to start seeds. Let me get in my greenhouse, get all of my supplies together, and let's start the first seeds of 2022. Let's go over everything that you're going to need for seed starting. Y'all, I'm in my greenhouse. It's almost 90 degrees in here. So I've got my windows open and you're probably going to hear some road traffic. I'm just warning you. And right over there is my air conditioning unit. It has to stay on, y'all. Because I can't do heat. Anyway, first thing that you're going to need is something to start your seeds in. Now, I use the Jiffy seed starting trays. They come with the base, the lid, and these. And I think that's 72 cells in here. $5, or it was last year when I bought them at Walmart. Okay. I used these. This one's pretty much brand new. I didn't use this one last year, but I used these type last year to start all my seeds. But after watching a couple of other videos, I've decided to do something a little bit different. Some other options are from the Dollar Tree or the $1.25 tree. These are 12 cell containers. I'm not sure if these have been, yeah, these have been used. They don't last very long, but if all you got is $1.25, go to Dollar Tree. They work just fine. These, I would still use these, but I've got something else that I'm going to use. Something else you can get at Dollar Tree are these. I bought these and this size last year, and they're still fine. They've been out here in the greenhouse in the heat and the cold. I'm not worried about it. I bought these on Amazon. And they come about like this. Up from about here up have been used. So these down here on the bottom are brand new. And they're 6 cell. And they pop apart where you can make just little 6-packs in case you want to sell them. I am going to use these this year because I think I'm going to plant about 6 of each thing. And everything comes up at a different time. Peppers take longer to germinate than tomatoes. And all your different herbs and things germinate and grow at a different time. So instead of trying to disturb everything in this large 72 cell, I'm going to make this to where I can just pop out a 6 cell and plant what I want. These, like I said, I bought these off of Amazon. You can also use styrofoam cups with holes poked in the bottom. You can use solo cups. Solo cups you can use for a couple of years. Styrofoam I wouldn't keep for a couple of years. They're probably not going to hold up, but you know, somebody's going to throw them away. Might as well reuse them and then trash them. So those are our containers. And I just wanted to show you that all of these fit nicely into the watering tray for that. Oh, the 72 cell comes in. They fit nicely, so I can fit the same amount in here. And even the ones from the Dollar Tree fit in here nicely. Side by side, just like this. Okay? So, if your cell trays break and you've still got these, keep them. Buy some replacements off of Amazon. Keep using them. The next thing you're going to need is some seed starting mix. This is a bag from last year, y'all. There's no nutrients in this. Seedlings, when they germinate, they don't need any nutrients. So I wouldn't worry about buying anything that's got nutrients in it. This basically has peat moss, cocoa coir, and vermiculite in it. That's it. There's no nutrients at all. When you up pot is when you're going to want to put it into some finer potting soil with maybe like a half strength fertilizer. We'll go over that when it comes time. This is what you need to start your seeds. And you are going to need something to mark them depending on what you're starting them in. If you're starting them in these, just write on the outside of it with a Sharpie marker. I actually purchased these from Amazon, and after using a Sharpie on these, even a high temp Sharpie, I've realized that those don't work on these. They do not stay. So I invested, I think I paid like $8 for 2 of these permanent garden markers, and they work fantastic. There is nothing like planting something out when you have, you know, a bunch of different tomatoes and you don't know which one you planted where because you can't read the marker. And last but not least, you need seeds. Okay? I believe I got this at Walmart. I just picked this up at Lowe's or Home Depot. But you can get everything you need at Walmart. You can get everything you need at the Dollar Tree. I wouldn't go Dollar Tree if you're going to do it on a scale. Because the money doesn't even out. So Walmart, Dollar Tree, you can get all that stuff there, and Amazon. Okay, before I got my hands all dirty, I pulled from my list and of all the peppers that I wanted to start, I went ahead and pulled all my seeds and I made my tags. That way I'm not trying to write with nasty hands. These are all made and ready to pop in. The next thing we need to do is moisten our seed starting mix. I'm going to use this tub right here. And I have an open bag from last year. It's very, very, very dry. And the reason we want to moisten this is because it's going to make it a whole lot easier to keep it moist. You don't want it wet, wet, but you definitely want it to be moist. I'll show you. Start out with a little bit of water. If I get it too wet, I can just add a little bit more of seed starting mix. I'm gonna use a glove, y'all, because I don't want dirt under my fingernails right now. It's very, very dry. Even though I poured water right on top of it, that's what it's gonna do if you put your seeds in a dry mix. The water's just going to go straight down and it's not going to hold on to any of that moisture. So let me mix this up. It's very, very dry, and I'm definitely going to have to add more water to this. Oh, I have a hole in my... Let me put this down on the ground. Got a hole in the watering can. Take my dirty hand and scoop that water right off this counter. And see if I can get this to hold some of this water. It's going to take a lot more. That's crazy. Yep. Need more. Imagine having to put this much water after you've already placed your seeds. You won't know where your seeds are. Sitting here watching Casey. She's sitting out right outside the door to my... I know you heard me talking about you, staring at me. I had to close the door because the wind kept whipping it over. And I didn't want to take a chance of it breaking my glass. Yo, I got in here the other day and completely reorganized this place. I have the exact same amount of stuff in here, but you can actually see the floor of my greenhouse. It's crazy. I'll do a tour later on, but I had to get in here and get some seeds started. You know, in the South we gripe because of how hot it is, but we also gripe because of how cold it is. I would much rather be hot than freezing cold. Now, this has a lot of water in it. You don't want it to be dripping like that. I'm going to add a touch, and I'd already squeezed that out. See that? That's too wet. So I'm going to add a little bit more to this. Let it soak up some of that. I got another open bag right here. Not a lot, because as you saw, it sucks up that moisture. And this soil, if it sits a long time without getting moisture, it will actually repel water. That's a little better. I'm going to go ahead and go with that. A little bit extra moisture is not going to hurt it. That's just going to be less time between watering. Okay. I have 11 different pepper seeds that I'm going to start. So I'm just taking and dropping this in. And then I'm going to take my fingers and kind of tap this down. I'm not packing it, but I'm making sure that there's no air pockets in there. And then I'm going to go fill it right back up. And I've still got some that need some more soil in them. If you make sure that you fill these up good to begin with, whenever you go to transplant them or up pot them, it's going to come out in one big plug. And it'll be less disturbance on your roots. A lot of plants don't care, but some do. There we go. Alright, I'm going to get these filled up. And we will get to planting. Okay, I have my pots filled up. And we are ready to start some seeds. So the first one I'm going to start is this giant Poblano. And the rule of thumb on planting seeds on how deep is twice as deep as they are wide. So since these are so tiny, I'm going to put one in each cell. Yeah, I don't need 6 of each one of these plants. I'll end up either selling them or giving them away. If they all germinate, So I'm only putting one per cell. I'm going to try and put it in the middle. Where did my other one go? There it is. Okay, and I am just going to push them down in there just a little bit. And that is all you need. And then cover them up. All right, let me find my tag for my giant Poblano. Come on. Of course, it's going to be the last one. That's giant. And it was the last one. Okay. This next one is the Lemon Dream. I grew this last year, like I said on my live, and it didn't do much. Nothing did much. So I'm going to go ahead and give it another shot this year. So let's go ahead and get those planted. This I have closed with washi tape. This is supposed to be a sweet pepper. And these are even smaller. Couple more. Lemon Dream. Push it down just a little bit and cover it up. That one's a touch deeper. It's probably just going to take a little bit longer to emerge. Do any of y'all have another old wives' tale? Like I was saying in the beginning of this video, I watch for the pecan trees to bud. And when the pecan trees bud, I know 99% of the time we are done with freezing weather. Nature will tell you when it's ready. And that's what the pecan trees do for me. Alright, this is a California Wonder. Let me go ahead and I need to just lay these out where I can just grab them. So I'm doing 6 in each packet. Close that. Make sure I don't have, I was going through packing these in. California Wonder. 1 in each cell. This one got 2. Close that back up and push it down. All these are basically the same, so I'm going to go ahead and get this filled up. We will water them in and put them in their home for the next 6 weeks or more. I got these all planted. So this one is Grand Bell Mix, Garden Leader Monster Bell. This red, this is from a store-bought pepper that I saved. I only had 4, so I went ahead and planted a couple of extra. So I have 8 of these, 6 of everything else, and then 4 of the small red. This is the Sweet Orange, the Giant Jalapeno, Purple Bell. I only had 3, maybe 4 what looked like viable seeds. I just went ahead and dumped everything else in there. We'll see if they come up. If they do, they do. If they don't, I'll have to buy some starts or find some more seeds for those. This is the Sweet Yellow, California Wonder Bell Pepper. This is the store-bought jalapeno, the Giant Poblano, and this is the Lemon Dream. They are going to live on the south side of my greenhouse on these plastic shelves Y'all, I called myself trying to spray paint these. I got one shelf done and I didn't even do the legs, and it took like 3 cans of paint. I was done. So half my shelves are red and the rest of them are the gray that they came. Anyway, these are going to set right here. And we are going to water them in. These are the extension cords for my wonderful heat lamps that are keeping everything alive in here. This is the only thing I've got planted right now. It's the thing that takes the longest. Let me go ahead. I'm just got a spray bottle. I'm going to water them in gently. Just in, so we don't dislodge any of the seeds. Just give them a little drink. And that is going to be it for this tray. I'm not going to add any water to the bottom until I see that they have germinated. I will come in here at least once a day, maybe twice, depending on how often the top. I don't want the top to dry out. You don't want these to dry out at all. They need to stay damp while they are germinating. Had I not wet this seed starting mix, this water would just go straight through and the seed would not have any type of chance. Alright. That is where it's going to live. Pepper seeds take forever to germinate. They love the heat. My greenhouse stays about 10 degrees warmer at night than what the ambient temperature. Because I have these heat lamps going. So, and that's all I've used, except for when we had our really hard freeze. I put a propane heater in here. Anyway, I didn't want to take a chance. So right now it's 85, 90 degrees in here, even with my windows open. So I'm not going to do a heat mat. I'm not going to do any type of seed starting light. I don't need it because I get plenty of light in this greenhouse. So these say they take 70, that's the average, about 70 days to harvest, but that's after you plant them out into the ground. That's not from today. So I am really, really excited that I finally got my peppers started. I got something started. I'm going to see what else I can start now. I may go through my flowers. And I think I want to start some lettuce, y'all. I think I'm going to start some lettuce too. I've never been able to grow lettuce. It's too dad blasted hot here. It always bolts. I need to try it in the fall. Anyway, those are my peppers. And I'm hoping in about 5 to 7 days we'll see some sprouting going. Like I said, they take forever to get big. And I'm going to leave them in here longer because they are heat loving. Although we don't have any freezes on the forecast, and we don't, we get hot here pretty quick. I'm going to try and keep them in here at least 2 or 3 weeks past when I transplant everything else out in the garden, because it is so much warmer in here, to see if I can give them a better leg up to get a better pepper harvest this year. Alright, thank y'all so much for joining me, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.